Well, so I grew up flying. My neighbor growing up was a Navy pilot, so he started teaching me how to fly when I was about 8. He was a Korean War Sky Raider, which most people don't know about the Sky Raider. Everyone knows the World War II warbirds, and then they know the next generation, like the plane behind us here, the F-5, the F-14s, all that. But the Sky Raider was part of this kind of interim era of planes, and it was like the A-10 of its era. And for those of us who fought, in GWAT, the A-10 was the ultimate close air support weapon. Came in, that epic cannon you hear sounds like canvas ripping, and the A-1 was that in the Korean War. And he flew those, and he started teaching me how to fly planes when I was a kid. So I went to the Naval Academy to be a fighter pilot, like all children of the 80s. I wanted to be Maverick, of course. And then ended up getting talked into the special ops route. So I went into the SEAL community and, did the Rangers as well. And then did several deployments during the war. My wife was a Marine. We met at the academy. I was a mail order husband, actually, believe it or not. She picked me right out of a catalog. No, we met at the Annapolis.
Seals.
Yes, exactly.
Seals Weekly.
Shirtless photos.
The American flag Speedo, like that Burt Reynolds on the bear rug.
Yeah, she got Mr. July.
Yes, exactly right.
I ordered February.
I know. Perpetual disappointment to this day. So I ordered the other month. But no, we were deployed so much and apart. It was like 45 days across 6 years we actually saw each other. So we got married through the mail. And then, long story. Ended up, I got injured, got wounded, got out, and I started my companies right 100 yards from this hangar here, which is how Jared and I kind of got to know each other. And the mission was to bring that close air support model we kind of perfected in the special ops community and bring that to wildfire. So we had built a company from scratch here with some other veterans. And and then eventually got talked into throwing my life in the wood chipper and going into politics.
Dude.
Hey, Brandon,
So here we
how do
are.
you feel about that?
Hey, he knows all about that.
Yeah, I feel like nobody here at this table knows better than you exactly how much of a wood chipper that is.
It is, yeah. And folks on the outside love to hate elected officials, especially Congress. We're like the least popular body, in the nation. But, when you look at our relationship with our congressional body back to the beginning of our nation, I mean, we were the first country really to believe in a powerful legislative organization. I mean, Article 1 of the Constitution is Congress. And as much as we all love to hate it, it is the people's branch, especially the House of Representatives. That's the people's expression of power to the government. And as annoying as can be, as dysfunctional as can be, as Winston Churchill said, democracy is the worst form of government, except for all the others. Right. And it's messy. And whether you're watching Jasmine Crockett every day, or somebody else, you're like, what the hell are these people doing there? They're there to represent the will of the people. And it's messy, but it's messy for a reason, because self-rule is messy.
I too open Twitter just to edge my aneurysm and watch Jasmine Crockett.
Yeah.
You went, rewind just a bit,
Yeah.
you Navy SEAL and then got accepted into Ranger School? You were one of the...
No. Rangers first. So when I was at the Naval Academy, I was part of a program. So at the Naval Academy, you get picked for your service selection. So when you're at the service academies, you get picked. Okay, you're going to go at West Point. You'll be an infantry, artillery, pilot, whatever. Naval Academy, you'll be a Marine. You'll be a fighter pilot, submarines. And if you're picked to go SEALs, that's kind of a multi-year selection process. You have to go through what's called mini-buds, what's called something else now, but at the time it's mini-buds, and then a screening process. And they basically put you through kind of a hell week before you go to buds to make sure you're going to make it. And in that process, there was kind of an integration going in our special ops community where, Army and Navy special ops are being integrated like they never really were ever before. And prior to GWAT, the special ops groups, whether it was Green Berets, Rangers, Delta, SF, the Green Berets, Air Force Special Ops, SEALs.
Segregated.
They all did their own thing. And they rarely were totally integrated. And GWAT saw the kind of development of, the Joint Special Operations Task Force, where everyone just got jammed in together. And we're all one team, one fight. And the oddballs out of that were really the SEALs, just because we did everything different. We were water-based. Ranks were different. Weapons, SOPs. So there was an effort to start bridging that gap, and I was part of that. So I was privileged to go through Ranger training, Ranger school, Ranger regiment training, airborne recon training, all that stuff. And
oh God, they put you through the ringer.
They did. I'm a glutton for punishment.
Whoa.
Rangers, SEAls, politics.
I was about to say you went through RIP and then you went to buds.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah.
shit, buddy.
Yeah, it was fun.
You did RIP too?
Yeah, so it was the regiment.
You did RIP and Ranger School?
Yeah. Well, I mean, pretty much all the guys in regiment do.
Well, yeah, but I know, but they don't also then do butts.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
And then fly a plane.
Yes.
That's the big difference between everything.
Like getting kicked in the nuts.
I do.
Yeah, that's why he
yeah.
ran for office.
Yes. Yeah. And I married a Marine too, to make sure that she'll ensure I get kicked in the nuts anytime deviation from standards is observed. So
You're like, man,
she
this
delivered
isn't-
one of our kids into her own hands, like caught her like a football, like didn't make a peep either. It was like back of the truck. I'm like, oh,
Jesus.
there we go. We're done.
I was telling
And the hospital still charged me for the full like labor and delivery bill, like because you still go to the hospital to make sure it's all good. You get the bill at the end. They don't give you a discount for self delivery in the parking lot.
that's bullshit.
Just so you know, just FYI if you ever have kids.
They probably don't have that little coupon in the register.
My wife's going into labor. Sir, there's a baby in your hand. Yes. Wash it.
Yes.
Do things.
Yep.
That's wild.
Got a free blanket though.
No, you got an amazing family, man. I was telling before we got on the podcast, I was talking about your son tried to kill me with a lightsaber earlier.
No, we all got chopped in half by your son.
That's par for the course. Yeah, he's a warrior. I mean, you're lucky he had clothes on. Normally he's completely naked, like an old
He
warrior
seems
of
like a wild
antiquity.
man.
Yes. He is. Yep. That's about par for the course. Yeah. If he's got pants on, it's a good day.
Same, brother.
So guys, imagine him, but just like this tall, with a lightsaber, just swinging it at all of us.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, he's a wild man. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
You got a beautiful family.
Yep.
And
Well,
I mean, dude, again, that career is wild. Both of you, like everyone here is just, it makes me feel like a piece of shit because I'm like, no, I got to work harder.
no
I
kidding.
got to work harder.
you got great hair though.
I know.
some good hair.
Old as shit. Gray hair.
No, I said great hair. You got good looking hair. It's a
I
good
thought you were like, you got gray hair. I was
No,
like,
no,
I know.
no.
I'm
I knew he was just telling Eli, your time has passed.
Yeah. I too did GWAT. Ancient. So what year did you get out of the military?
So active duty got out kind of in 2014. Then I stayed. I did like reserve recruiting for naval officers and NSW for a while, and then was all ranching and business for a few years, and now back in the government.
Damn.
Couldn't resist.
I don't know how you went back to.
Which is crazy too, because you went from never having run for any sort of office whatsoever to going straight to Senate, which for those who don't know, I thought I jumped in the deep end of the pool by having never run for office and then going for House, which is a pretty big jump. Senate is a completely different ballpark. That is a much more expensive race, a much more watched race. I mean, you said earlier they spent over $300 million.
Yes, we were the most expensive race in the history of mankind on a per vote basis here. Like goofy, $325 million. So it was more expensive to buy a TV commercial in Montana like a year ago today than in Las Vegas, New York, LA, anywhere. We were the most expensive media market in the nation because, we were the Omaha Beach race. So our race was going to determine control of the Senate. Now, we ended up with a 53 seat majority, but keep in mind, Dave McCormick had a 2-week count off. Bernie won by, less than 1%. So margin of error, we were the race that the Dems knew for sure this was going to be the firewall. So I mean, they spared no expense. It was the landing craft on Omaha Beach, man. It was nonstop, and they tear apart your life. Anything you've ever done. I mean, every newspaper article about me before June of 2023 was, war veteran, family man, philanthropist, job creator, firefighter. And every article after July of 23 is, he's a scammer, he's a crook, he's a liar, stolen
Piece of
value.
shit, dog kicker.
We've never seen this.
I know. And
Brandon.
Yes, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
They grasp at anything they can.
They do,
And what's
yeah.
funny is that it doesn't matter if they believe it because they don't.
Yeah.
They grab at anything they can to see what sticks. They're like, all right, which thing do people actually believe? Oh, okay, people run with that. Let's do that.
And you can have 20 people lined up that will sing your praises, and one like random hobo on the street that some guy pays $5, or gave him a bag of crack, and like he says you're a bad dude, and they interview that guy for the Washington Post, and they're like, this guy's a credible source. he says Tim's an asshole. It's like, well, obviously he is. This guy's credible. Let's put him on the front Frontline News, you know.
Tim Sheehy sold me fentanyl behind the Target on
That's exactly right.
right next to Elmo.
Yeah, I give homeless guys crack all the time to talk bad about his political opponent.
Yes, exactly.
So,
It's a good
Oh,
strategy.
that's your good friend.
yeah, you know, I give them some crack, and I'm like, hey, the cop over there has copper in his veins. You should try to get that copper out of his veins.
And I try.
Yeah, they go with it.
Where's the camera angle cut on that?
I know. Brandon just slowly slides out of frame. He's like, I didn't represent that comment.
It's like, and Cody's talking again.
It was wild watching, being on our side, which we don't deal with politics, but seeing what Brandon went through on just jokes, and then how the media would just be like, nope, dude hates veterans, as he sits next to veterans in a veteran podcast who
He
raise
sits
money.
next to a Purple Heart recipient.
Yep.
And then 3 other veterans beside him. And it's like, no, he hates veterans. He hates veterans.
I made a comment at a veterans town hall, you know, as also a Purple Heart recipient, you know, and you know, I said, hey, as veterans, you know, because I'm sick and tired of the veteran victim culture. You know, they come home and they're like, oh my God, give me a blanket. I mean, like, listen, like we all volunteered. We're all volunteer force. And we're veterans, not victims. So when we come back, there are certain things that we need and we earned and we deserve. Yes. That does not include all of the above, whatever the fuck I want forever, free shit, you know, emotional support dogs at every street corner, blankets wrapped around me, a free job, candy, you know, Halloween costumes, and a free car. All right? No, like come home, get a job, get a mission, and live your life and continue to serve your country. Now, yes, if you got injured, you got wounded, you got issues, 100%, we need to stand behind you. The VA is there to serve those veterans who deployed to combat, who have service-connected disabilities, come home and need support. It is not there to be a catch-all, like, you know, campus support program for any need. I need new insoles for my shoes. Go to Foot Locker like the rest of us. Like, you know, and the victim culture has permeated way too much. And we got to put a stop to it. And people want to talk about veterans. It's like, yeah, because they're convinced in their head that they have nowhere else to go. They're veterans. They're broken. No, they're not broken. They're not broken. They're strong, great patriots who volunteered to serve. And the best thing we can do when they get home is give them a mission, give them a career, not give them free stuff. And I've said that repeatedly, like I'm saying now. And they clip that and say, oh, Tim hates veterans. I'm like, I'm married to a combat veteran. I am a combat veteran, multiple tours. All I'm saying is we as veterans have a higher bar when we get home. And that bar is not give me free shit. Give me a lifetime of handouts. Give me a lifetime of benefit programs. No, it's come home and continue to serve your country, continue to achieve, and make the nation proud again.
But it doesn't matter what you said. It matters what they can pay enough money to make people think.
That's exactly right. Yeah. No, it didn't work. I still won by a lot. My opponent was, you know, not a veteran. So him claiming I was anti-veteran when he had never served a day in his life, and you know, me and my wife are both combat vets. It didn't really hold any water. But to your point, it was something they could grab and run with. Yeah. And so you're entering the crucible again. Thank you for doing it. I mean, we need our generation to step in and serve in elected office. It's a thankless job, but
for sure.
Thank you for doing it.
Well, no, I mean, I feel like you need more people that are again, like in you know, our generation and less, you know, 180 years old, but still for whatever reason being the people in charge of regulating Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. Like that is a problem.
Who's Bitcoin?
So how many Bitcoins can I fit in my wallet? None.
Just listening to like,
one. I don't know which one.
Listening to the hearings about, you know, Facebook or you know, Meta or anything like that, and just like, oh my God, like we need help. We need some serious help. But no, on top of that, I just feel like not only that, but people who aren't for sale, which seems to be the prevailing. I don't know. Not to speak ill of your colleagues, but there's a lot of it going around.
Well, listen, I mean, the reality is we were built to be a citizen republic. And, you know, a republic is a word we hear, it floats around, but, you know, democracy never appears once in the Constitution. That word is important, it matters, but we are a republic first and foremost. And that's a form of government that is very fragile and has never succeeded over the long term. And there's all these Iran is an Islamic republic, you know? I mean, you know, I think North Korea calls themselves the Democratic People's Republic, you know? So there's lots of republics out there, but truly a nation that is run by regular citizens who choose to stand up and volunteer their time and service to shape the future of their children, of our economy, of the greatest nation in the world. This is the only country where that has really worked at scale for a long time. And yes, I'm sure someone listening will dig up like some random ass Nordic country with 2 million people in it that, oh, they've been a republic for 400 years. It's like, okay, all right, fine. All right, but not the biggest economy, largest nation in the history of the world. Like, this has not worked at scale ever. For this amount of time. And that's special. And it's also tough. It doesn't come easily. It comes at a cost. It comes at a cost of me throwing my life in the wood chipper, you throwing your life in the wood chipper. Maybe these guys, probably not this guy, he's too ugly, but maybe.
It's always what it was.
Maybe this guy trying to, enter our government and run, the next generation of space exploration.
What is it? It's like a republic if you can keep it.
That's what Ben Franklin said as he left Independence Hall. What government have you given us, Mr. Franklin? He said, a republic, if you can keep it, because he knew that it was so perishable. And every time it had been tried, it had collapsed under its own weight.